Hi, this is Adrian Odell with the Max Tech Agency here in Columbus, Ohio. And if you felt that there was something fishy in that email last week, you're right. Congratulations! You've just been phished. What does that mean? Well, in 2020, we've shown, based on FBI released information, that there are more than $4 billion worth of ransom attacks pertaining to email phishing. The reason why we're reaching out to you today is to be able to put you on alert for some of those red flags to look out for, so that the next time when it's not a simulated attack, you're not inviting hackers into your computer network. Let's get started. Point number one, people aren't always who they say they are. What's that mean? You could receive an email from Jessica in accounting or whomever your CEO is at your company. It'll look like the email address will come from them, but if you look closer, it's not. What does that mean? When you get an email address, you want to make sure that you hover over that to make sure that the URL, when you hover over, matches the text that you see on the screen. Many times hackers will spoof an email or make it appear to be one thing, but bring you to another aspect of a website. So when you get those emails, when you're on your desktop, make sure you take a few moments to just hover over that and match it up. It's a little bit different when it comes to a cell phone, but you want to click on the name from the sender to make sure that that email address is indeed from who it says it is. Those are just two ways of taking a look at it on a mobile as well as a desktop device. The second thing that we're going to look out for is an unusual request. Now, the goal of a phishing attack is to gain access to sensitive data. So information is going to come from a trusted source or a seemingly trusted source to try to get you to give up that information. So if you get an email from your IT admin or Jessica down in accounting and the information doesn't seem quite right, make sure that you take the time to look clearly through that information. If they're asking you for passwords or to reset a password, or to give up information that you wouldn't normally give out by way of email, don't click on that link. The third thing we're going to be on the lookout for is unfamiliar or unrecognized phrases. You've had conversations with your employees or your fellow work associates many times. And if the wording in those emails is now all of a sudden overly chatty, or now we're best buds and best friends, that should throw you a red flag up right away. So look for those things that are outside of the ordinary forms of expression, or seems like something that is just not quite right. If you see something like that, don't click on that email. The fourth thing we're going to be on the lookout for is hyperlinks and button text. Those things you want to hover over to make sure that the link or the button actually indeed takes you to where it says it does. So take the time to hover over that link or hover over that button to make sure that the URL matches up with the destination that you had in mind in clicking that piece. Again, the whole point of this is to try to get you to go somewhere that you don't need to be to give up information that they have no business having. Take the time to hover over your links and make sure that they are accurate. The next thing we want to be on the lookout for is unexpected or unfamiliar attachments. Just because it says PDF or JPEG, it does not mean that that's actually what it is. So if you receive a document from someone important or even just a fellow coworker, make sure that you take the time to assess that document. If you have virus scan on your computer, take it through there first. Make sure that there's no malicious malware or any other types of data attached to that packet that could bring in information to your computer that you do not want. If you receive an email from someone in accounting or someone in one of the other departments in the company that you weren't expecting, asking you for information that is of a sensitive nature, don't click on that email. Make sure you either make a phone call or verify that information before you indeed download some unwanted malware onto your computer. Number 6, is it overly detailed or simply too vague? If you receive an email from Jessica in accounting and she has this step-by-step instruction set that she doesn't normally do, that should throw up a red flag. Or perhaps it's short and sweet. Hey, real quick, I need you to do this here and do this before this. those extra sense of urgency that are very vague and you're not really quite sure what should be done, don't click on that link. You want to make sure that the information that comes in and the information that you send out is protected at all times. Number 7, if you see something, say something. If you see information that looks risky, that comes in any source, is it an email, is it some type of text message, let somebody know, your IT manager, one of your superiors, let someone know that there's a potential threat. Even more so, if you've clicked on something and you got that feeling that's just not right, make sure that you take the necessary precautions to let somebody know. In fact, you might even want to turn off your computer, shut that down altogether before continuing on so that you can let somebody know that there's a potential threat, and if that door has indeed been opened, you can close that right away. Now, this is not a complete list of the different things that you want to be on the lookout for when it comes to cybersecurity, but if you stay on the lookout for these 7 tips, you, as well as your fellow employees, will be well on the way to being safe and sound when you're dealing with anything on the internet, through email, or any other medium that you're using currently in your company. Thank you very much for your time and taking a few moments out to keep you and your company safe. This has been Adrian Odell with the Max Tech Agency here in Columbus, Ohio. You can follow us on social media or come on out to the website for more information. Thank you again.